Hi everybody, it's Dave Neufeld back again for the Best Buy Canada blog, and today I'm very excited to be talking about the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. Now as a kid, I definitely dreamed of the day when virtual reality would in fact become a reality. So when VR headsets started to become more mainstream, I was among the earliest adopters. And I was really excited to kind of get in and see what the future of VR was going to look like. But I have to say that those earliest impressions for me were kind of underwhelming. I really wanted to like it. I really wanted VR to be great. But with those, even just a few years ago, with those earliest headsets, I kind of thought that they were very cumbersome, and for me, they were mostly uncomfortable for long periods of time. And the experience just overall wasn't quite what I hoped it would be. But just a few short years later, I find now that I think the technology has kind of started to catch up to where VR is now what I was always kind of hoping it would be at the earliest stages, even just a few years ago. And definitely is that nowhere more apparent than with the Oculus Quest 2. So this is far and away my favorite VR headset that I've had the opportunity to test to date. And the great thing about this headset is it's completely standalone. It works all on its own. It doesn't require a PC or a console to hook up to. It doesn't require sensors to be placed around the room. It's all encompassing. In fact, everything you see right here, the headset and the two touch controllers, are all you need, of course, along with an internet connection to get some software for yourself. But other than that, that's all you need to get going. This headset is super lightweight, super comfortable. It's easy to put on. It's so simple to set up. Really, all you have to do is put this headset on and go. And that's what I really like about it, is that you can use this anywhere. You can take your VR with you. You can bounce from room to room. You can take it on your commute. You can take it to the cabin for the weekend. Basically, anywhere you go, you can pop the Oculus Quest 2 on and enjoy the world of VR. So it's just so user-friendly and so convenient in that way that I think it's a great option for just about anyone who wants to dip their toes into VR. It's not the most high-end headset on the market, but it does the job admirably, and what's really important about that is it's priced far lower than the most high-end kind of enthusiast VR rigs out there right now. It does still perform very well. It has 1832 by 1920 pixels per eye and a 72 hertz refresh rate, so 72 frames per second, although you can bump it up to 90. That's in beta testing right now, though, so it's not guaranteed to work across every game or app, but they are pushing the headset to work at 90 frames per second. So overall, a very decent experience, but at a much lower price of entry than the more high-end VR rigs that are available on the market right now, which of course also require a high-end or a gaming PC that's capable of VR. So for what it is as a standalone package, it's probably one of the most interesting options out there right now. Now there's three ways to use this headset. You can either use it in a sitting position, a standing position, or in a more mobile room scale setup. And another great feature of the Oculus Quest 2 is the Guardian boundary system. So when you put this headset on, you're basically going to determine how you're going to play. And if you are playing in an open space, it will actually let you take one of the touch controllers and draw the space of your room, which is great because then you aren't limited to preset sizes or guessing how large a room is. You can very literally show the Oculus Quest 2 how big your room is, and it will draw a Guardian boundary around you And from that point on, as you use the Quest, if you get too close to that boundary, it'll give you a visual warning. It'll actually show up in your field of view that you're crossing the boundary to protect you from bumping into furniture or other things. And then if you're in a stationary position, of course, it just draws the guardian boundary in a stationary position around you. But it makes it really easy to use this headset anywhere and utilize all of the space that's available to you. Of course, since it is a standalone device, primarily a standalone device, it has its own onboard storage. It comes in two different models. There's 64 gigabytes and a 256 gigabyte model. The 64 gigabyte should be enough for most. I found that most of the games and apps on that you would download to the Quest 2 range from maybe 2 to 6 gigabytes. Some newer, larger games can get a bit bigger, though. I know the new Walking Dead game is 12 gigabytes or more. So if you don't intend to download everything under the sun, or you're good at, kind of deleting old games when you're done with them, the 64 should be more than enough. But if you really do want to curate a huge library and always have all your games available to you, you may want to look at the 256 gigabyte model. Now, while the apps that are dedicated Oculus Quest 2 apps and games work great, another excellent feature is that you can use this headset in conjunction with a PC if you want to. And that involves making a connection to your PC via the Oculus Link setup, which is a combination of using a USB-C cable to connect the headset to your PC, and then using the Oculus app to access the library of software that would typically be limited to the Oculus Rift, which is the wired PC model in the Oculus family. This is really important to me, though, because I did not necessarily want a headset that would just limit me only to the Oculus Quest 2 library. I have VR games in Steam that I wanted to test it out on, and that's absolutely possible through the Oculus Link setup. So basically what I had to do was just connect the headset to my PC and download the app, and then I was able to download the Steam VR app. And from there, I was actually able to access Star Wars Squadrons, a game that I have in Steam. And soon enough, I was inside an X-Wing and a TIE fighter and playing in VR in the Star Wars universe, which is just incredible. And I have to say, probably one of the things that finally won me over to where I really feel like I want to spend more time in VR right now, because playing Star Wars in VR is amazing. But one caveat is that you can't just use any USB-C type cable to hook up to your PC. You need a high-speed cable. Oculus actually offers their own Oculus Link cable, which is a high-speed cable that is guaranteed to be fast enough to allow you to use the Quest 2 for PC gaming. You can use another cable as long as it's fast enough. I unfortunately didn't have the Oculus Link cable to test it out myself, so I stole the cable from my Nintendo Switch console, which is fairly long and allowed me to connect to my PC. And luckily this cable was fast enough for the most part to allow me to play my Steam games and access the Oculus Link, the Oculus Rift library. But I did have a little bit of lag here and there that I think I can probably attribute to the fact that this isn't specifically meant to be a high-speed VR cable. So if you are interested in using the Oculus Link capability a lot, you probably either want to invest in the actual Oculus Link cable or a third-party cable that you've researched to ensure that it is fast enough to accommodate the speeds that are necessary to use the Quest 2 in conjunction with your PC to access an even broader library of games and applications. Another thing I also did notice too is when I was playing in Steam via Oculus Link, the volume on the headset was a little too low, and even at max volume I couldn't quite get it high enough for me. So what I did was I actually, luckily again, the Oculus Link has its own built-in 3D audio, but you can use external headphones if you want as well there's a 3.5 millimeter headset jack there. So I hooked up my Beats, and which actually fit really comfortably and really well because of the design of the Quest 2, which is so minimal. I was easily able to comfortably put my Beats on over top. And as soon as I did that, I realized that that was actually how I wanted to game all the time, whether I was in Steam or not. Bolstering the audio with my Beats headphones made the experience even more immersive. So I was kind of glad that ultimately I figured out that as good as the audio, built-in audio is on the Quest, it's even better if you pair it with a even higher quality headset. But anyway, that's basically my overall impression of the Oculus Quest 2. Like I said, it's fantastic headset that I think I would recommend to just about anyone, whether you're an enthusiast or a newcomer to VR, purely because it's so easy to use and because the portability and the ability to just use it anywhere without the need to have a high-end PC nearby or have sensors set up is what makes it a game changer. It's just so incredible to be able to jump into VR wherever and whenever you want at really a very affordable price to entry as opposed to higher end VR rigs. But that's all I have for you today, so be sure to stay tuned to the Best Buy Canada blog for all the latest in gaming and technology. Until next time.